evenly distributed. But what if it's not evenly distributed? If this side heavier than the other side, then how? For example, this one is 1,000 ton. I size, let's say, will be based on exact. It means 250, 250, 250, 250, 4 point.
Yeah.
But what if the load is higher on one side?
Yeah.
Then this side maybe 600, this side 400. Then how? This one only 500, cannot leave.
Yeah.
So cannot. So that's why you need safety buffer. And sometimes safety buffer, why we go up to double 50%? Why? Because if let's say the load, majority of load is here. In both sides, let's say this 1,000 ton, I put 500, 500, 500. It's 50%.
Yeah.
So it's, no matter what you do here, you still can take 1,000. You still can take the full load. Yeah. So it really depends on how you're going to do the safety buffer, and this is up to the customer to tell you how much buffer they want. Not for you to tell them. Okay, but you can highlight what's the risk involved as an example, because if let's say there's a load shift, then your cylinder cannot take, then maybe the customer we can recommend customer that maybe they can suggest to them, maybe you have to take a high capacity so that you have your load, there will be less risk. Okay, then when you use have a bigger safety factor, the pressure setting, the operating pressure will be much lower. For example, if this is a 1,000 ton, you have 2,000 ton, you are operating half the pressure. You still have a lot of safety buffer in case anything happens, you still can move. Yeah. So this is things that we have to consider when you advise the customer. Right? So in that application, what type of application? The surface, whether it's even, flat, or there's a rough. Okay, why so? Because if the surface is tilted, it's not rough. Okay, your cylinder when you contact, you have your cylinder by side loaded. So that's why you already have to advise the customer to buy a tilt saddle, so that it will tilt to a certain angle to contact with the load. Okay, surface. Okay, load, obviously the load, you need to know how much load, what type of load, and what type of load maybe in terms of frequency of use. This is very important. If it's a high cycle, they want to buy cylinder, blah blah, but they forget to tell you they need to operate 24 hours, 10 times per. Then that's obviously the wrong application. Okay, so frequency of use is very important. So next.
So excuse me, if the frequency is so
very high
frequency, so by to a lock nut. Such as that's frequencies for using these frequencies up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, right.
So how can we know when the cylinders cannot withstand the load anymore?
Okay, so one thing maybe we talk of frequency, you have to ask the customer is, okay, what are these application for? If let's say they tell you in a production mode, high cycle, manufacturing, those type of like and 1 hour run 10 times up, 20 times up and down again, then probably you have to rethink again whether are they talking about the right type of cylinder. Okay, maybe you can ask them, what type of cylinder are they using currently? What type of system are they using? So high chances are when they come back to you, will probably tell you it's a low pressure, because that type is usually for low pressure. Okay? If let's say they are using high pressure, probably it will be, you can ask them what's the brand what they're using. But I would say most of the time it will not be high pressure. But if there are, we do have, I'm not saying that, we do have the so-called the production cylinder, the BRD and the RD cylinder, the one with the clevis size, but with the limited capacity. That one probably they are referring to that type of cylinder. Okay, that type of cylinder. And then if you're talking about then the frequency is how long, maybe the one leaves and hold it there for a long time, then probably we can talk about, from there we understand is they need to hold the load for a long time, and that's where we can probably offer the lock nuts.
Lock nuts, yes.
Or if they want to hold, let's say just for 1 or 2 hours, we offer maybe they probably don't want lock nut because too troublesome to lock. So we can offer valve, the load holding valve, so that they hold the load for a certain period of time. But they will be better than using the pump to hold the pressure. Or maybe just shut off all the line so that there will be oil leak back. Yeah, that's one way to configure. Okay, so the load and then frequency, then temperature. Okay, temperature very important. For example, if let's say they are using a steel mill, they are using the cylinder steel mill. They are using right beside the furnace. So have some high temperature. So our seals are using a standard seal, so might not be able to withstand the heat. So we probably have to use a custom seal, like Python seal, to replace the standard seals. Yeah, the standard seals inside we replace with Python seal. So that will be they can withstand higher temperature, more suitable for that kind of use. The application. So
normally it's inside is NBR shield,
correct.
So it's around 80 degrees C.
Correct, right. So it will not withstand. So if the load duro it will not be able to withstand. So we can change Python and it will be more suitable for the application. So we talk about high, but we also encounter application is low temperature, minus 20, minus 50 degrees because we cover Mongolia as well. Mongolia in the winter is minus 50. So then we cannot use the standard seals.
Excuse me, how about if they need Python seals, FKM is inside is a different kind of model.
You will have to buy the seal. Yes, you have to buy the seal separately and to change out as well.
So I mean different Pagno.
No, cylinder will be the same, but we have the seal kit for Python seal kit for some of the cylinders. So you have to buy seal kit and replace as well. But for Python, some of the cylinder have the Python come already pre-installed. So it depends on which model you're looking at.
So in case of Python, you just buy a Python seal kit to replace this one?
Python seal kit.
Supply the total new one?
Some of the cylinders have complete installed assembled with Python. Some, not all. I think only one or a few models.
Yeah, a few models.
Like the RC53MV, the type the special type of cylinders. So that series will have the Python installed.
You see in kinds of application with a special high temperature as used for more advice.
Correct. It is better that you let me know too when you can. I can check whether it's a Python seal kit available. Then you can. But of course you have to charge higher because you need to change out the seal kit.
So the normal temperature cooking is around less than 100.
Yes, correct. For hydraulics. Correct. For hydraulics we do not usually don't go over 70 degrees. 70. Yeah, not more than 70. For high flow pressures okay. Okay. So next thing, the left side. Okay, that means because what's the height of this?
The height.
Yes, very important, especially for application with space constraint. So you have to recheck the left side. Then of course the most one stroke required, how much stroke is needed. And then of course bear in mind 80% rule because if the customer can accept the 80% rule, then obviously you can try to sell one bigger cylinder. Of course, bigger cylinder higher value.
Mass collocation look like the space we can put the cylinder into inside.
Yes. So some of the application quite critical, very critical because they have very limited space. And then especially those type of infrastructure construction kind of project, usually they have very limited space, so they are quite particular about the space. And then of course the next part, single acting or double acting. Okay, that's what I think. How to decide on this? Must check whether it is a high cycle kind of application. High cycle means they need to be work fast. Then probably a double acting will be more suitable. The speed, how fast they want to fast track and everything. So I think double acting will be more suitable. Okay, next pooling. If it's pooling application, definitely double acting. Okay, not single acting. Unless you use the single acting cylinder, the full cylinder, the BRP, the cylinder. That's the full cylinder. We have this full cylinder series. Okay, so check whether pulling or pushing on your thing.
pulling. It's
pulling is
cable.
different.
It's a double acting also divide is a high cycle, a kind of speed and pulling.
Yeah, so you need to know if let's say there's a pulling or high cycle, I would strongly recommend double acting. Not single acting. Okay, next, on say now, this is what I mean by this is orientation. Orientation of the cylinder, whether it's upright, inverted, sideways, angle. So very important because take note some of our cylinders are load return. So if you do sideways, then you will go up but never return. So you have to be careful with this. So
but excuse me, for single action, if this one is on normal, what can is it also reverse is also the same.
Can.
Also the same punch.
Yes. Because the spring return. Okay. Okay, it depends on how the customer use. We have come across customers who use it inverted this way for single acting. Okay, and they make use of they input in the system so that because if it is load return, right? So if the load on the equipment will be return on its own. So happened before. We have encountered such application. So it really depends on how customer want to use it. Okay, it can. I'm not saying cannot. It can be inverted, but of course, take note there's a load return, so the customer need to know how what they are using it for. Okay, we have come across application like for example they use a cylinder inverted because they want to put attachment over here to extend and to put their own attachment because here there's a track over here, so that they can build some things over there. So they are always using inverted. I'm not saying no, there are some applications that works this way. Okay, so orientation very important because they will determine what type of cylinder you are using. Okay, how many cylinders are needed? Okay, every time when customer come to you, counter come to you to buy a cylinder, we always assume they just buy one. Okay, one pump, one cylinder. Very common because we always have this mentality, one pump, one cylinder. But not always true. Because why? Because sometimes the customer will need to do a lifting application. We need more than one cylinder, or maybe two cylinders in pair to clamp or something. So it's always a good practice is how many cylinders you need, the customer need. Okay, because this one will determine what type of pump configuration, what type of pump you are using, because the reservoir, the oil must be enough for the cylinders, and also what type of valve type you use, what type of control you use, okay, and what type of the manifold and valve fitting configuration to use for the setup. Okay. So just have to confirm how many cylinders. And then if it's more than one cylinder, the next question is how far apart? It's very near, no problem. Hose can. Small, because hose is very little. But what if the application is 100 meters away? Every 100 meter, 100 meter, one cylinder, and then the hose is very long. And you need a lot of oil. The oil, you have to cater a lot more oil in the pump. That's not enough oil. And you might want to have a pump with higher flow. Because the flow is too low, it takes very long to reach that. So you might want to create a big, higher capacity pump to provide the flow to this the cylinder. Okay. So if it's multi cylinder, good practice to ask what's the distance. Next, just as I mentioned. After you give the load,
excuse me, to talk about distance in between such as we can calculate the volume, the oil volume inside the
yes, to calculate the oil volume. Yes, correct.
That's why to select the right pump volume with the oil reservoirs to adapt with that guys.
Yes, right. Because one thing to note is our hose when we deliver does not come with oil. Hose is not pre-filled with oil.
Hose no need
no oil. So it's inside air. So when you first use, you need to fill the oil, fill the hose with oil. So you need to cater enough oil. So the distance is apart very important now because from the distance you know how much oil you need. Okay? So you have to keep the more oil in this case. Okay, so that's why the distance is very important if let's say you're using more than one cylinder. Alright? And then just now I mentioned if let's say the customer need to lift the load and then they need to know how much what you need to know is how long they need to hold the load. If they are holding a load for maybe half an hour, 1 hour, okay, not very maybe too much. They use the load holding valve to do. Okay, this load holding valve, we have this D60 load holding valve. When they lift, it's one way, they lift and you hold the load and they can still do their work. And then only when you open the valve then you will retract. So with this load holding valve. Next, does the cylinder have to work simultaneously? So what do you mean by that? It means when the lifting, does that need to be even? Because just now remember when I mentioned this part on the lifting, let's say for the load, we always assume that it's evenly distributed. This is the V66 load holding valve. V66. So we usually attach, assemble it to the cylinder side. It depends on how the customer wants to use it, but usually at either cylinder side or the pump side, so that it can hold the load. Okay, so sometimes the load might not be evenly distributed. Some side, one point may be heavier. So what we mean in this question is, does it have to work simultaneously? It means have to lift at the same time, so that the load lifting is even. Okay, so there's a few ways to go about it. One way is to use the flow control valve. Okay, because if this side is, let's say one point is lighter, the lighter one will go faster. Because it will go faster because it's lighter. So you will have one to control, let the flow slower so that it can be evenly go up together. So what you can do is you have a kind of flow control valve at each point, and the one that's fastest you close like a tap lower, smaller flow, then you close it so that it will be evenly lifted. So we have this flow control valve, and the flow control valve is inbuilt in the manifold, the A31, A41. So there's this is one inlet, two outlet. This is
one inlet, 4 outlet.
So this is how you control the flow control valve, lifting with the flow control valve.
The maximum is 1 inlet and 4 outlets, or
you can have more. You can have more. But let's not forget, these are manual valves. Okay.
We need to manual adjusting.
Yes, manual adjusting.
Automatic is.
Wait. This one. Not say cannot. Can. But that will be a more expensive solution. Okay. So this one is the cheapest solution. Is the flow control valve to adjust, and then. If the customer do not have a requirement on accuracy, that means if this side maybe 5% more than this corner, this side is 10% more than this corner, not critical. Yes, flow control valve manually is can be done, but it's not efficient. Why so? What I'm using now is a small example. Okay. Imagine the load is 30 meter by 30 meter, maybe 5 meter by 10 meter. When you adjust at one point, how you see the other point? Have to run there. See? Not possible. So either that you have many people. You just call, hey, too fast, slow, then you adjust. So it's not efficient. You need many people and to adjust. And what if the person cannot call you? It's not go fast and it's not safe anymore. So it depends on how critical the job is. If it's not critical, flow control valve, okay. But it's a critical job where the customer requires them to be, let's say, 1%, 1 or 5%, even this point cannot be higher by more than 1%. That's where you need to see we can use the different type of control, different pump. We have products like split flow pump. The SFP, equal flow to each point. That one, the accuracy will be higher, maybe I think still 3 to 5%, around 3 to 5% kind of accuracy, but it's still based on flow. Okay. Another way is the higher end, which is the Evo system. EVO system using height sensor, displacement sensor. Each point the displacement sensor, when you lift, it can control up to 1%. So this point and this point is only 1% difference. So we have that as well. So, but that is a lot more expensive. So the cost is this one probably maybe less than 1,000. The one is times 10. More than that. Most maybe times 100. It's a lot more expensive.
Yeah, more expensive.
A lot more expensive.
Simultaneously is the lifting at the same time.
Correct. Because it really depends on how critical the job is.
Level control.
Yes, correct. Level control. So if, for example, like some of the transformers, the transformer genset or even the transformer, the big one, because inside there's certain level, there's a kind of level gauge kind of thing. So you need to ensure that the machine, the whole remote is level at all times.
Yeah.
If it's one side tilted, it will sound alarm and the thing will stop. Yeah. So that type of installation will require touch control. The EVO system will be the best place to do it. Yeah. Or like certain CNC machine, they have some leveling that need to be maintained. So when you move right, it's best to use the EVO system. Use this type, you never get the leveling right. Okay, so it depends on what type of control. So that's why if it's a critical application, if the customer say, oh, this is very need to make sure even, then that's where you have proposed the SFP and EVO system. So instead of selling a few thousand, you will go to 100,000 for it all the way. It's a different thing altogether. Okay, so this one to ask, especially for load lifting application. Then of course, in side loading, there's some side load. Because the contact surface is uneven. Okay, some of the even might be tilt or what, or the ground might be uneven, so when the contact surface might not be even. That's why you probably have to use tilt saddle. You can go up to 3 to 5 degrees. Tilt saddle, so you tilt the surface. Contact surface.
It's like a connect in the surface.
Yes, so it's like a ball. You tilt accordingly, and then you tilt. So that will help to minimize the side load, to reduce the side load to the cylinder.
Excuse me, does we have any kinds of cylinder to use in a silo?
Okay, most cylinders have a certain silo capacity.
In fact,
yeah, so can take certain levels. It's not totally cannot. There are some cylinders that cannot take side load. For example, like the lock nut cylinders, it's threaded. That type cannot take side load. Zero. Okay, you cannot take side load because when you take side load, because it tilts, it will definitely scratch the ball. So cannot. Like for example, this type of the RC cylinder design, right, such that there's the bearing top and bottom, so it can take some probably side load. I think 12% if I'm not wrong.
12% is side load.
Yeah, can take up to 12%. Some of the high tonnage cylinder can take up to 5 or 6. So it depends on type of model. So, but as much as possible, we don't want them to get this side load, because once you have side load, you scratch the ball, and then you will start to leak. And worst case scenario, extreme side load, you will damage the body. So we tell those customers zero side load the best. Don't tell them they can take 10. They will try to do funny things. Okay, so no. Always tell them.
So about 12% side load, does this occur in specifications online?
We don't never. We don't spec it there.
Yeah, so we talk to customer zero.
Just tell them
don't accept a side load.
Because once you tell them if they side load, then they say your cylinder can take load. Then why then I have to claim warranty? Okay, you should not take side load. If they set up incorrectly and side loaded, is their application fault. Okay, so it's not a warranty. Okay, because we can how we tell, because when we open up this cylinder, once we look inside, side load is very obvious because it will you just scratch and scrap the whole entire surface. It's very obvious. Then that's a completely misuse. If it's a misuse, then it's not a warranty. Okay, so we have to be very clear on this to avoid no side load.
But how can we occur if this cylinder is failure by a side load? We can open and to see anything.
We can see.
Occur right here.
So we can see. So once you open up, because the cylinder inside is the body is touch is very clear. So because when side load, because the plunger will rub against the side of the wall. So usually when that happens, right, the whole side of the wall is usually scratched. Very obvious one. You can see one clear scratch. Then it's silent. That's definitely not a warranty. That's a misuse. And if the customer say that it's not their fault, it's not possible. It's definitely on their side. And if the reason why it's not that we don't give warranty, but the fact is that if we give warranty, we are admitting that it's our quality issue, which is not, because this is customer misuse. And then the thing is, even if you give a replacement cylinder, chances of a customer doing the same thing, making the same mistake again is very high also, because the customer don't understand what side load is. Yeah. So sometimes it's not just always goodwill give customer, because the customer will not be educated to do the work, use the tool properly. So we have to be, sometimes we have to hold our stance up. Yeah. Otherwise you will run into a problem. Yeah. Okay. So so side load driver. So the thing what this is trying to say is if 100 ton load can be divided 250 tons, 425. So in the case where like for example, if the customer in very urgent need of a cylinder, but just nice you don't have that capacity. For example, you haven't need to leave 200 ton, need to use 200 ton, but just happen that you don't have a 200 ton cylinder, then how? Don't sell. So if we can try, for example, maybe you have 200 ton in stock, customer can you use 200 ton, we have that in stock, you can take cash and carry now. That can work also, because it's still 200 ton. Okay, so this is what we stand by this statement. So sometimes it's not critical to have that exact tonnage. It can be a 200 tons instead of 200 ton. Okay, so this is what is meant by the statement.
For this device, what is the best solution? One track, two track, or four track?
You mean this?
No, I mean a lot 100 tons can be devised in.
Okay. So
what is the best solution?
Okay, so it depends on what. Okay, for example, give an example in for example like a heavy lifting project. Sometimes the customer for example at one different point or different load. Maybe this point they need 1,000 ton, this point they need 500 ton, and the other point need 200 ton or something. Okay, in such an application, maybe customers don't want to buy different type of cylinder, because if they buy different type, it's very hard to manage, because they might not need 1,000 ton cylinder for the next project. So instead of buying 1,000 ton, 500 ton, 200 ton, right, they might probably purchase all 200 ton. So that means maybe at this point they put 5 200 ton cylinder. At this point they put 3 200 ton. So they have a standard cylinder set of all size. Can it be used? Can, because when we use 5 cylinder also add up to 1,000 ton. Yeah. So it really depends on how the customer configure. So it's not necessary that you need 1,000 ton cylinder, because you use 1,000 ton. Next time, when's the next time I can use 1,000 ton? Don't know when. Because hardly people use 1,000 ton for a project. So, but 200 ton is very common. They can reuse it in the next project. So it really depends on how the customer configure the project. So it's not necessary that. That's why this statement comes in when sometimes it can be configured in that way. And the pump, because it still provides the same flow, as long as the stroke is the same, why can so it can. So that's why it is. That's why it says the product is simple. The product is very simple. It's how you apply.
It's a product simple.
The product is very simple. It's how you apply the application, what to use and when to use it. That's the challenging part of things. That's why you have to be sometimes a bit more creative in the way out. So the product is actually very simple.
I think about the control valve for similar 10 very important.
So the control valve is very how you use the control valve is very important also, because application might be need some, like for example you need to leave this part first, then you do the part. So how you play the control, how you use the circuit. That's the part that you probably need.
How to control it.
So we do have a series of flow control valve. Like for example, all pump we have this pump mounted valve. Okay, we also have remote mounted valve. So that means the valve is outside, can place outside somewhere else. Okay, so this remote model sometimes, for example, give an example. For example, in the ship, in the vessel, the cylinder at the top of the deck.
Yeah.
But they cannot put the pump on top of the deck because maybe raining, so they put a pump below the deck.
Yeah.
Then how you control? Call? Cannot be, right? So then they put the pump below, but we connect the hose to tubing all the way up when we control our remote valve on the deck. Can be done this way also. So that's why it has if you need to know a product configuration, what we have, and make use of it to form a system for the customer. So this is how we work. That's why I say the project simple is how you make the combination of product to make the application work. Okay, so this is so these are questions. There is some basic questions that the salespeople need to know in order to advise the customer what they can buy. Okay, so if you let's say ask me if you want, you send me an email, ask me what the size, right? Most likely I'll ask you the same question also. Like what the customer need, this one is that, and from there then I can size the pump and the cylinder for you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Ask again for frequencies. How could you talk again on the frequency using such as does this any information about us? How many cycle per hour withstand at stable working?
Okay, so this frequency is very subjective actually because when we talk about frequency, right? Okay, frequency I will say this one is if you are talking about okay, for example 1 hour you need to advance retract, maybe let's say every 5 minutes you need advance retract. I would say that's high frequency. But then again, if you are doing this at a low pressure, maybe if the customer is not using a maximum pressure 700 bar, maybe they are using about 100 bar, 200 bar, that's better to come back. That one maybe it can work. So because it really depends on what type of environment and frequency as well. So that one maybe it will work, but then again the wear and tear will be high also because the all type of seal, if you take kind of frequency, it probably will be wear out faster. Okay, so it's very difficult for us to tell you which frequency you can use because there's a lot of different pressures. So if you are talking about every 5 minutes full stroke, retract, but at full pressure, that's a different topic. Yeah, that one definitely wear out a lot faster because you are operating at full pressure. Okay, so there's no guideline. I can't tell you like by how much time it will wear. I can't tell you because it's also the temperature also play a part, environment also play a part, and speed also play a part. So there's a lot of factors involved the frequency. But what I can tell you is the customer expect this cylinder to work every 2 minutes. Next time you check, then no, that's not the type of cylinder at high speed. Then it's not this type of cylinder. Our ENERPAC is not for that. It's not. That's not.
Cái nghĩa là tính là về frequency thì không đưa vô tính toán được. Nghĩa là we cannot use the frequency in calculation.
High power.
We move it down.
Yeah, that's not possible.
So we cannot control the frequency. Yeah.
So that's how can we realize this application is high frequency or low frequency? So we can talk to customer.
If you encounter such application, right? Okay. Usually, I mean, if you go see such a high cycle, right? Usually those systems are under pressure. You can ask them about the operating pressure. And the customer say, I want to pay for this application. Operating pressure. Usually such a system is low pressure, like 210 bar, 180, 210 bar, and you will see that the components inside are usually custom cylinder. It won't be brands like Power King and but it won't be discount brand. It won't be. Usually it will be things like very low pressure, no brand, those custom made cylinders. Maybe wood holding, maybe I don't know, because maybe Rommel kind of small cylinder brand, but it won't be ENERPAC for sure. I'm very sure of that.
Yeah,
it's not
so
feasible.
for replace the old one is easier, but
Yes.
for the new system, look like a new project, they also want to customer want to ask if we can see that the customer they need the application for the high frequency, so we can refuse at the first time.
No, okay.
refuse,
What you can ask them is you can ask them what's the frequency or what's the application. First, the application.
Yeah.
Is it for production? Because production usually need a high cycle, high frequency.
Yeah.
High cycle, because production. If the production, okay, if you say production, yes. Then next, what's the expected so-called cycle of use? Because like for example, they one every hour you need to pull or push for how many times?
Yeah, that's correct. I want to know exactly how many time how many cycle per minute or per hours. First can realize exactly about the frequency.
There's no such data.
No data for that.
Cannot.
No such data. That will be more like a cycle test for each product range. We have so many cylinders. Not possible.
Because maybe say in the future, in some case, if we can see the high risk for the high frequency application of the customer, we can refuse no supply to them for this kind or refuse at the first time.
It won't because okay, like I said, chances of this happening are very low. Because usually customers with this kind of application are usually for low pressure. They will not buy ENERPAC for sure. In the first place, if you, for example, why I say so, for example, the low pressure cylinder, the cost of a low pressure cylinder versus high pressure cylinder, right? The price is very different. Low pressure is much cheaper.
Yeah, I mean that if for the same track here, but used for high frequency, does it anything happen on a different year on the surface? We can realize that by ourselves.
Okay, for example, usually if
it's a high
frequency,
temperature.
it will high frequency, right? Chances are it will wear out a lot faster. It will wear out the wear and tear will be faster, and usually you on the internal you probably will see a lot more wear on the bearings and the wear band. This one will be wear band. It's not be the bearing at the side. It will wear out a lot faster. And you probably can see that it's a bit more worn out compared to those high compared to the new cylinder. So it's not as there's no guideline on how what kind of frequency or no such thing. Because like I mentioned, it's very dependent on pressure, very dependent on application. And chances of people asking for this type of high pressure to be used on low pressure in manufacturing high cycle application very low because it's not the right cylinder type for them also. And then if that's usually for that kind of application when it's they also require the cylinder right to be of certain dimension. It cannot be so small because when low pressure is the area is a lot bigger, okay, and the cylinder rod a lot bigger. So when you use a certain application and the so-called the chances of cylinder failure will be low. It's designed to that kind of it won't fail because the tonnage of the cylinder is low, but the thing is the size is big, the rod is bigger. The chance of it buckling is it won't buckle. But whereas for you notice the high pressure cylinder, the tonnage because of the pressure is high, it's very small size, and then the cylinder rod is very thin, very small. So if you use it in a certain application which on a low pressure, for example, lift a load, big load, but with a small stem, right? Then the cylinder might buckle, might break. It will break. It will break because the cylinder too thin. It will buckle, so it cannot use for that kind of application. So so that's why it is not very unlikely. That's why I say it's very unlikely low this kind of high cycle, high frequency application they switch to an ENERPAC cylinder. It cannot fit. Unlikely to fit. Very small case. Very impossible. If they want to do that, they have to make a lot of changes to the structure and also to their system. So very unlikely, you might very unlikely to encounter. So far I've never encountered yet. So don't worry too much about this. Don't worry too much. Okay? But if it really happened, then let me know. I can see what I can do. What can be really realistically be used for the application. Okay. Yeah.
That's and on the other questions when look like the mark is such as for this 10 tons and used with the pump, so can when the track is withstand is to maximum ton is 10 tons, it means that the pump have to create the maximum pressure.
Yes, to
at
reach
the
the
10 ton.
Yes, correct.
700 bars
Yes.
to withstand with 10 tons.
Yes, correct.
On the same with this one, such as this is 5 tons.
Yes.
700 bar to
5
withstand
tons.
with a 5 tons.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And when such as if anything for side load occur here is broken, so the oil occurs.
Okay.
Push out with the 700 bar.
So what happens is, if let's say for example, the side doesn't mean side load is straight away leak. So what happens is, because if let's say for the side load at the side of the wall, right, what happens is scratch, right, usually you leave a mark there, it will create a sharp point. So when the cylinder extend retract, it will cut the seal. That's why it will leak. That's why it leak.
Leak maybe is a leak.
Leak from the here, because you see the seal is from here.
The leak, so it's reduce height, not push out the oil here.
Yeah, you will push out the oil from here, because oil will leak through from here, comes out here, then you will leak through from here.
To balance the pressure.
Yes, so you will leak through from the seal, because as you cut off the seal, then you will start to leak in this chamber and.
Just inside, not harm to the people outside.
Yeah, so it cannot say that also lah, because when you start to leak, you don't know what will happen. You don't know what will happen seriously. So that's why we always ask the user to do annual check.
Annual check.
Yes, annual check, annual servicing. I mean, because usually people will buy they will ask you how often do you come to servicing. So rule of thumb is we recommend minimum 1 year once annual servicing. If not, it depends on the frequency. If you use frequently, like very high usage, right, maybe half a year once. So it really depends, but rule of thumb 1 year once. At least
the minimum is 1 year, one cycle.
Yes. To do the servicing. Yep. So this is our guideline. Okay. So for this cylinder selection question, very basic fundamental question that all the sales people, as much as possible, ask the customer. Okay. But like I mentioned, most of the time, 80 to 90% of the customer will walk in, they say they really know what they want to buy. But it's always good practice to maybe ask some questions so that we know they are buying the correct tool. Maybe they are using the wrong tool all the time. They think it's correct, but it's wrong. So when you talk them, they maybe okay, I can do something else instead of buying the standard. Then they can try other things. So this is what usually we experience. So when you ask them, you will know. Okay. All right. So this is talk about the cylinders. So basic hydraulic. Basic hydraulic. So a pump produces flow. So pressure occurs when there's a resistance to flow. Okay. So this is what we talk about the valve type to control the even loading.
Yeah.
Okay. So take note, the pump produces flow and pressure when there's a resistance. A lot of customers think that when they turn on the pump, wow, they expect full pressure. No, that doesn't happen. So when there's resistance to flow, that means when the contact, there's something resisting against the cylinder or the tool, then the pressure starts to build up. Then after that, it will move. Okay, so when there's a resistance to flow, then it starts to build pressure. Okay, so when there's no resistance to flow, it's zero pressure. Not super loud, maybe a little bit loud, very small pressure. Okay, so the control valve this helps to control the even lifting. Okay, so basic operation, of course we always encourage you, tell the user to read the manual. Usually people don't read. Okay, so always you can go to download the manual from the website. Okay, to use over 70 degrees Celsius, use ENERPAC oil.
Yeah.
Okay. The customer say, I always say I want to use my own type of oil. Okay, you tell them, okay, you use your own type of oil, no problem. You use warranty. Warranty what? Okay.
No warranty.
Yeah, no warranty.
No warranty for the pump and cylinder also.
Yeah, so if they use their own type of oil, then of course no warranty. Okay. Okay, so why so? The reasons being if they use the other type of oil, we cannot guarantee the performance of the oil with our product.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason. Why so? Because different grade of oil might have different composition.
Yeah.
Some of it inside might have corrosive, some might not. We don't know how it will react with the seals and the material in our product. Okay, so but for us, our ENERPAC oil we use ENERPAC oil to test with our product, to work our product, so we can guarantee the performance of our product, that it will perform to the specification. So but other type of oil we cannot guarantee. That's why if they use their own oil, we have to void the warranty. Okay, so in our product catalog, we also have a pump that can use other type of oil or fluid. Okay, we have the multi fluid pump MP series. That one you can use if you use with the Skydro oil. If you use the EPDM seal, okay, that one will be the multi fluid oil MP series. We have the pump head and they make their own reservoir. Okay, so if they have to use other type of oil, you can offer the multi fluid pump. It's inside the MP series.
For the
multi-fluid pump, the MP series. It's because, for example, application like in aerospace. Aerospace, they use Skydro oil for the airplane. So airplane, so they use Skydro oil. So that one you have to use the EPDM seal with the install the multi-fluid pump. That can work with Skydro. Normal pump, you cannot. Normal pump. Okay. So the rest. So rule of thumb, that the ENERPAC product check with
1 year per time.
1 year product. That's a so-called
1 year per time is for checking or for using the cylinder.
Yeah, checking product, every product.
Every product.
Yes, so once a year check and then service lah. If you repair, change the seal kit or whatever, so it will last the product, will last longer. But
as far as I know, as in Vietnam don't have a service center, not yet have. So how about the others products? Is the customer go for a long time?
It's not not doing service center. They do the servicing, but they don't certify themselves as authorized service center. Not that.
So means that the customer do the service by their shelf.
No. Some do by themselves, but the other distributor they also do the repair. They can do the repair, but they just don't want that service center to be certified. Maybe because for some reason they don't have space, don't have what. That's why they don't want to certify their service center. Okay, so that's why not yet lah, don't have it, not yet.
But how about the checking? Checking this one? Can you show a little bit about it?
Okay.
I mean, checking one time per year for us can.
Okay, so
open is.
Okay, the service center, what will happen is for service centers, right? Usually what they do when they receive a product, how the service center works is when they receive a product, they will do an evaluation check. So they will try to check whether the condition of the product, whether it's performed to the spec, whether it's leaking, whether it can work totally or totally cannot work. Then they will inform the customer first. Okay. Because if you receive a product, straight away you check and disassemble the product. Okay, you disassemble. What if the customer say, I send you to you in good condition. How come after you tear it apart?
Yeah.
Then it's your fault already. It's not your fault, right? So this will happen. This sometimes might happen. Some customers are not so kind.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I always tell service centers when they receive a product, first thing to do is not to tear it apart. Please do not do so. Because once there's spot inside, maybe it's working after that, but it's not working anymore. Then how? That's your problem already. Okay, so we always tell the service center what they do. Receive a product, do an evaluation check first. Check really, confirm, and ask the customer if they want to proceed with the repair. But based on their evaluation, maybe I see a cylinder it's leaking, you can extend the track but leak. Okay, so most likely it's inside is the seal, you have to replace the seal. So you can tell customer, this one we check, it's leaking. So probably you need to change the seal kit. So we most likely have to charge you the seal kit and the label. Okay, if the customer say, this much, so expensive, I don't repair. Okay, then okay.
Yes.
But if the customer say, okay, I think I want to repair. Okay, so sometimes some of the service center they charge an evaluation fee. That means you want me to do a detailed check. That means to open up, I will charge you this amount. If let's say I open up, you check, and then you don't want to repair, I will only charge you the evaluation fee.
Yes.
But if you want to proceed to repair, I will waive the evaluation fee. I just charge you the repair cost.
Yes.
Repair parts. So this is how some of the service center work. Okay,
No.
because cylinder is straightforward, very easy. Open up, you can see very easy. But what if it's a pump, electric pump like this type of pump, the power pump, this type of pump, very complicated.
You open it.
Yes, you open it, you can wait half a day just to check every part. Then customer you open up, check every, then customer, I don't repair.
I don't know
then you have to spend another half a day to put everything back, make sure it's working, to return the customer. So you waste a 1 whole day. If you want to provide this kind of service, by all means, but you're wasting a lot of time. So that's why some of the service center implement evaluation charge, so that after they check, when they confirm order want to repair, okay, I waive because they will place the order for repair parts and the labor fee. So that then it makes it worthwhile to, and you already open up, so for you to repair is easier. So that's why for this need to think twice on how you want to make this service process work. Okay, because some service center they don't charge labor, then they spend a lot of time opening up, and then the customer say, wow, then you spend so much, I don't want to repair. then all your time wasted, and you don't gain anything out of that time. So I mean, end of the day, we are doing business. We want to make money. We are not doing charity work, helping the customer. Okay, we want to be nice to the customer, but again, we need to be paid for our time. So when you talk about service, it's not so straightforward. You have to think about how the process to make it work. Okay. And
for 70 degrees C is environment temperature or product temperature.
So it's the same for all hydraulics, low pressure also same, around 70 degrees. So these are the things that you need to take note of. And then of course, in our catalog, someone stole my catalog, so but anyway, in the catalog inside there's this section with the yellow pages. These yellow pages, right, with all the information like the pump on warranties, how it's set up and things like that. Okay. There will be some of the information inside, so you based on that, it will be helpful if you have this catalog for reference. Okay, so one of the things that's very useful is this system setup and this safety instruction on the catalog. I wait for Chong to help me bring the catalog here. I will show you. Because a lot of customers actually likes our safety instruction so much so that they take our page blow it up with a toaster and put it in their workshop. Because it shows how tactile user what to do and what not to do when they use a high pressure tool. Actually, we have a safety training also to guide teach user how to use high pressure hydraulic tools, which we visit customers sometimes. We conduct this safety training. So this is the so-called the yellow pages. Because yellow pages because yellow.
Like yellow pages.
So this yellow pages right inside there are a lot of information here. Like for example, it will show the what type of certification we have, the EX, we designed what ISO, CE. We have all this information here, and then we also have this. This is the one I'm talking about, the safety instruction. Okay. Do not under load, do not use this, and do not extended, must use the cannot heat. This type of information here. So some of the distributors actually get the animation on here, the picture here, and make into a safety poster and give out to the customer. Then they see, oh, ENERPAC and safety club. That's what it is. So they actually use this. So this is very important because this one you can actually salesman can actually. When you talk to customer, if they want to talk about safety, just show them this page and just follow your big your guys don't do and then the next one is which is very useful is this one. If the customer cannot visualize what's the setup is like, just show them this page. One pump per cylinder, how you set up a gauge adapter, blah blah, this is how you set up. If they want to 1 pump to 4 cylinder, this is how they should set up. The 4 cylinder, gauge, manifold, gauge, this is how they should set up.
Yeah, these valves can device in the same flow.
No, not same flow, not same flow.
You need to adjusting per valve.
Yes, this is the valve.
Outside valve.
Yes, correct.
Look like this one.
This is the flow control. This is the load holding valve. It's different. Load holding is this one.
The load holding.
Yes, load holding valve. B66. Connect to this.
Connect to cylinder.
Yes, correct. Holding cylinder.
Load holding one is to use for.
To hold the load.
To hold.
No, here.
No. Here.
Okay. So what happened? This one is different because
it's to maintain the pressure.
Yes, maintain pressure. So it can. It's a one-way valve.
Yeah.
So oil can go in but cannot come back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you will only come back when you open up the valve.
Yeah. It means that we can remove the pump.
Yes.
And so
and you
this
still hold the load.
is
Yes.
still look like a lock nut.
No, it's still using hydraulic. Hydraulic.
Yeah. In hydraulic.
Yes, hydraulic hole.
Temporary.
Yes, can.
Temperature.
Can.
Temporary for
Yes.
lock nut only.
Yes, temporary can, but not for long term.
Not for long term. Long nut is
for long. Yes, for long. Although we tried before using just this to hold. You can hold, but eventually the pressure will still drop a bit. Because this one is just
long nut the pressure is
there's no pressure because it's all long nut, mechanical lock.
Yeah.
It's not using hydraulic anymore. So this one is very good. Usually how people use is they use the load holding valve. Over here they put the gauge. So you can read the gauge. Even you take a pump, the gauge will show whether pressure still hold. It's a one-way valve. Okay.
Yeah, one-way.
Okay. So this setup. This setup will very basically tell you how this is being used. The load holding valve. This one will control the flow, the pump, the setup.
This controlled by turn off top, right?
Yes. The turn off faster. 1 round, 2 rounds. So
this actually is that kind of valve.
How about the basic?
Actually, because it's not flow control valve are not expensive, so it's the cheapest way to do a even simultaneous living.
How about the level control system?
System there is a lot more. So that one, okay, you're talking about Evo system. If you're talking about the 8 point Evo system, 80 over 1,000 euro. The Evo system, the control system, the synchronized lifting system, 80 over 1,000 euro. 80,000 euro.
Euro.
80,000.
Yeah, for 8 point, 8 point, 8 point, 8 point.
Half of Civic. Half of Civic in Singapore.
Yes, it's correct. Half of saving is yes. So that's the Evo system. So that's why if the customer want to do certain application that's very critical, must be usually these are for projects or certain the load is very critical. Have to monitor the listing, monitor each point. That's where you can do the offered Evo system.
Yeah. It look like a level sensor monitors
each
point
point
and
the sensor. You send the signal to the
control
and then you
control the pump.
Yes,
control the pump or control the valve.
The PLC you can use the PLC to control the
electric pump.
Yes, electric pump. Each point, how the movement, how much you monitor the height, the pressure, and the height of each point. So that's why you can do this.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Evo system. Though I see it, I try to get just like the thing is called. I see if I can arrange a training for you tomorrow on the high HLP, then you will see the she'll present to you, show you what we have. I'll try to arrange for you. Okay. So that's why if it's a critical load, you can offer this height sensor.
Sensor.
Yes, height sensor. Yeah.
Leo sensor.
POSCY.
Position sensor, displacement sensor. Yep. Yeah. So we have all this is so all will be connected to the pump. So the pump will read off the panel, the screen. You will see what's the displacement and can control each point when to extend, when to retract, maintain within the percentage accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So next I will go to the pump.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think I'll see this first. Go to the next section. Class. Okay. So one of the valves that we one of the pumps that we sell a lot the electric pump. We have the Z class pump. Okay, Z class we have the Z class. So Z class we have the ZE, ZU, and the ZA, ZU, ZA.
Electrical, battery, and air.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, correct. So we have the ZU and ZE.
Gasoline.
Also the ZG, yes.
Yeah.
And ZC. So we have the air with the ZA. ZE pump.
Yeah.
Air pump.
ZA.
Air driven pump.
Yeah.
Air driven
Air-driven pump.
Okay, air driven hydraulic. We saw the ZU. This is ZU. The ZU pump. We saw the ZE pump. And then we have the ZG, which is gasoline, the diesel petrol engine, and we also have the ZC battery pump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battery.
Yeah. So we have this with the Z class. This series is one of the most stable pump. I think widely recognized to be one of the most best pump around for the Z class. Okay, so for the ZE and ZU are more common types of IT products, ZE and ZU. So what's the difference between E and U? Okay, ZE and ZU. Okay, E is using the electrical induction motor. Induction motor. So U is using a universal motor. Okay, so if you
universal.
Okay, so if you go to this the catalog, right, you can see this the difference. Over here it's actually shown here, written here, ZE and versus ZU. Okay, ZE is an induction motor, so it's suitable for longer running hours. That means you can idle the pump for longer time. It can run for a longer period of time, continuous operation.
Yeah.
Okay, using the induction motor. But if for ZU it will be different. It's a universal motor. It's suitable for intermittent application. What do you mean by intermittent? That means start, stop, start, stop.
Intermittent.
Start, stop. That means you can
Start, stop many
start, stop.
times.
Yes, correct.
Stop
Many
time.
times. Yes, correct. So start, stop, start, and suddenly start, drop, stop. Kind of application. ZU, ZE. Okay. It's all in the catalog, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So if, for example, I give some application. ZE, for example, if your job requires on the site, you need to run continuous running hour for lifting. Lifting application, you lift, run for maybe half an hour, 1 hour,
Yeah.
stop, must keep the motor running, anytime standby. Okay, yes, that will be ZE. Okay, so for ZU will be intermittent. That means, for example, like torque wrench, you know, tighten, retract, tighten, retract, or press already, let go, press already, let go, stop, start, stop. Then you use universal. Okay.
Universal.
Yes, because if you use a universal for continuous operation, like those type of lifting continuous or half an hour, 1 hour, the motor will run, you burn the motor.
Yeah.
Okay, you burn the motor. So don't ZU for intermittent. For ZE, if you start, induction motor, chances are too hot, you burn the motor.
Yeah.
Okay, so must be very clear on what to use. Okay, for ZU, we only have one model, the ZU4. Only one flow series, only 1 liter per minute, ZU4, we only have one type. Okay, ZU4. For ZE, we have ZE2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, ZE2 to ZE6. Each flow will be different. The highest flow is ZE6. Slower flow is ZE2. So we have a wide range of different applications. So if the customer wants to be fast application, then of course you use one higher flow, that maybe ZE5, ZE6. Maybe I give you an example. For example, customer is using with a 1,000 ton cylinder. Okay, though if you use the ZE2, they sit there for half an hour. It's very slow. So you want to use the ZE6, the fast flow, so the application flow is a lot faster, quicker. Okay, so you size the flow group according the model according to the type of application. So just now remember I mentioned what 100 meters, 50 meters away, 20 meters away, the kind of lifting the job. You can even use a hand pump.
Yeah.
But very, very slow. very slow.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
so that. But you can use a ZE6, high flow, you can go faster.
Yeah.
Yes, you need, especially for multi-cylinder, you want to consider a higher flow pump.
Yeah.
Okay, so flow is very important. Heavy.
Too heavy. Yeah, the problem. Too heavy.
Yes.
So heavy.
The problem is very heavy.
Yes. So the bigger pump also heavier. It will be a lot heavier.
Yeah.
So the next one, how to configure. This is the configurator. Don't worry, don't copy because this one is inside the catalog. Okay. You see I want to show you this. Okay, this is the configurator. Okay, and the pump matrix. It will be in every catalog. So don't worry. Okay, so this is the configuration. All this below, right, are the options. So the fine print, you need to read the fine print. So it's not difficult to size this thing. So to size this, actually always dependent on the application. Okay, because different application calls for different type of valve, different type of options as well. So if you look at this configurator, right, what I need you to know is this one is dependent on the flow group for what type of application, the type of flow. The valve type, okay, this one I keep P also, it will depend on the type of cylinder and the type of application. Okay, for example, if you use a double acting cylinder, or then you probably have used a 4-way 3-position type of valve type. If you use single acting, then probably you have a 3-way 3-position. Yeah, single acting, and then of course if you use a dumb valve, then it will be a 1. Okay, depend on that. But dumb valve means after you After you press, let go and you adjust, go back to 0, double the valve flow. So this is the type of valve to use. So this selection is based on the application and type of tool you use. Okay. The next one is reservoir size. Okay, our standard is 4, 8, 10, 20, 40 liter.
4, 8, 10, 40.
Yeah, okay, 10, 20 liters. So some of the models might not have 8 liters, some of them might not have that. So there was a bit of confusing. Even I myself because there was a clean up in terms of model number. They try to reduce the SKU. So some of the 8 liter, 10 liter are no more. It's all become 10 liter, either 8 or 20. 4 liter. 4 liter. Yeah, either 8 or
4
20.
liter is volume.
Smallest, 4 liter. Usable oil capacity.
Reservoir is
Yeah. Okay, so this is the oil capacity. So if assuming it needs more than 40 liter, okay, it need more than 40.
Yeah,
okay,
more than 40.
let us know because we will build the tank locally, like maybe 80 liter, 200 liter. I mean, we have the 80 series pump which is up to 200 liter, but then again, 80 gallons, that is up to 80 gallons. But the thing is, sometimes the pump might not be suitable for the application. Maybe the customer prefer the Z class pump, but they want a bigger tank.
Yeah.
We can build up 80 liter, 200 liter. You just let us know that we will custom for you. That's why just remember, I mentioned the L something. This is why we custom the pump. Something we custom locally for your application. Okay, so this is the reservoir size. Okay, so next up the valve operation, right? Is this one is linked together. Okay, so this one with the valve type, significant I think the 4-way drip position, 3-way drip position. Okay, then this one will be whether it's a solenoid type or the manual valve or done with the D. Okay, so if let's say customer prefer manual, then we M. Solenoid means the remote pendant control, the S. Okay, so this is the type. The next one, voltage. Okay, in now 230. 230 volt. Usually we either E or I, but don't assume. Always check your customer to confirm the voltage.
Sure.
Double confirm because we always think that you use in our country,
Sometimes they want 3.5.
Yes, correct. So sometimes not because the word. Sometimes they might assume they might bring up the US vessel.
Yes.
US vessel 115.
Yeah.
Okay, so always double confirm the type of voltage. Okay, for ZE 5 and 6 only 3 phase. 3 phase only Z 5 and 6 are only 3 phase. Okay, the ZE 2 to ZE 4 single phase, yes, but there's a 3 phase option. But for ZE 5 and 6 only 3 phase, no single phase. Okay, it's in the factory here. Okay. So voltage, always please double confirm with the customer what type of voltage. Okay, don't assume. Okay, so we have E and I. E and I also both are 230. 208 to 240, but the difference is E is CE, C standard, so it's for European. So if the customer don't require CE, just use I, that's also same. Because the plug is different, so the plug is different. Okay, and ZE 5 and 6 doesn't come with control panel. We don't have a starter panel for the manual valve. Don't have a starter panel. Okay, so if let's say the manual valve for ZE 5 and 6, the customer have to make their own starter panel. Okay, and then option here is accessories. For example, if they want an air filter, we can install the filter there. If you want a heat exchanger, roll bar, roll cage, roll bar, and the transducer. So in alphabetical or F, H, K, T. Okay, if they want just filter, you have. If you want to have a heat exchanger, it's FH. Okay, so it's an alphabetical option. So we have different options for different application needs. So if customer want to think that the oil might get dirty, they can the filter, add a filter option. If they're afraid that you heat up, they can use a heat exchanger to cool down oil. You need to carry around and they use a roll cage instead of roll bar. If they need to set pressure, need to read the pressure, need to play around the function of the ZE pump, they can use a transducer.
Transducer into the control
The pump.
system?
Yes, like for example, this is a transducer here.
Transducer.
Yeah, on the pump to connect with so the LCD can read the pressure.
This means normally don't have
Normally
don't have LCD to know exactly the pressure.
Yeah. So they can have this install the transducer option, so they can read off the LCD. And with the transducer of an LCD, the pump there's a function like you can set maximum pressure, minimum pressure. You can read the running hours. All this can be done with the transducer option.
Or we can use the pressure meters outside of the pump.
Yes, you can. You can also
replace of pressure transducer for saving money.
Yes, you can. Of course, you analog. You can use the
analog.
Can be done. Just that the transducer gives you more option. Because the transducer, because it connect to the panel, so it allows you to have a setting. You can set setting on the transducer, so you can have automatic mode on the pump. If you have the transducer option.
This one.
These are the analog.
So that's one.
Analog.
No pressure transducer.
Yep, correct. So this is analog. So
but for this option,
this
cannot control exactly the pressure.
Yes, you can. There's a pressure valve there. You can adjust the pressure here. The valve here and control the pressure.
I can control the pressure here.
So you just turn to control the pressure.
Okay.
So you can set. So the Z-class config, this is the configurator. So ZE and ZU quite similar. The only difference between is just the flow is different. Okay, so one is universal, one is induction. So don't worry too much about this configurator. I don't expect you to know straight away what to configure. Okay, so if you need help with the configuration, just let us know. We can help guide you on how to configure for the application. So this one don't worry too much, but what I need you to know is what it means in case you're confused.
I think you should have the time to read the catalog very carefully.
Yes, correct.
When I have the inquiry from the customer.
Correct.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much because if you need help with configuration, let us know. We will probably ask a few questions on why the customer again is that then we can size this up properly for you. Okay. Don't worry too much. So directional valve. Okay. So remember just now I mentioned we have the manual, single acting, double acting, right? So this one will dependent on the cylinder. In the single acting, then of course the valve is single acting, double acting is double acting. Then of course the manual is correct. What do you mean manual? That means there's a handle here for you to adjust the flow and advance retract. And then of course solenoid means that you will have a solenoid valve and use remote pendant. Okay. So this and just now I mentioned remote valve. You see, this valve is outside the pump. This is pump mounted valve, This is remote valve. So it means the pump, the hose connect to this remote valve, it can be put somewhere else. So for example, maybe you might encounter some of the production line, you just see the valve there, but the pump somewhere else because one pump will cater to multiple valves. So at maybe this station they need to clear, the next station need to leave, so they can use the remote valve to configure a production line. Okay. So take note, 3-way valve for single acting, 4-way valve for double acting. Okay. So maybe we take a quick break here. Take a quick break. I go upstairs and check if we eat, whether it's apply for this tomorrow. We take a break 5 minutes, but then toilet break, then we come back again.
Okay. Thank you.